Hello, welcome to Trump Watch 47. Today's episode deals with the looming federal government shutdown as the fiscal year 2025 ends tomorrow at midnight. This is really about brinksmanship in polarized politics. I'm Merrick Masters, a professor emeritus, commentator, podcaster, author, and you can find me at my YouTube channel. Today is September the 29th, 2025. What's the precipitating event? Why are we in this situation now where a government shutdown might occur at the end of this fiscal year? It's because the deadline forces Congress and the president to agree to avoid a lapse in spending authority, failure of which forces a shutdown. Congress has not agreed to continuing authority to make spending in the federal government for many agencies, and therefore such authority will come to an end at the end of this fiscal year, and some sort of a shutdown will have to take place. Cancel a meeting with Schumer and Jeffries to discuss the budget. In a Truth Social post last week, he said that after reviewing the details of the, and this is his quote, unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical left Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open, I've decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive. The Trump administration has raised the cost of a shutdown by saying they will be accompanied by accelerated reductions in force on top of furloughs necessitated by the shutdown. A meeting with Republican and Democratic leaders has been scheduled today with Trump to discuss possibilities for averting this situation. The dispute. There is a relatively clear path to a solution, which is passing a clean continuing resolution to continue spending at the current levels. But such an action, I might add, will do nothing to save the U.S. from falling off a fiscal cliff. The more fundamental point at issue here is that neither side, neither Republican nor Democrat, wants to compromise due to irreconcilable political differences. This is what is different about the political climate today in comparison to any other time during my 70 years on this planet, that the parties really have irreconcilable differences. There's no in the middle possible, and they can't talk to each other because of so much vitriol and poison in the system. What happens in a government shutdown? Simply put, if there's a government shutdown, hundreds of thousands of federal workers deemed non-essential would be furloughed until the funding is passed, meaning that they won't work and won't be paid. Now, how government operates depends on where you are, if you're in the military, if you're in law enforcement, if you're receiving your Social Security, Medicare benefits, those will continue. But there were certain non-essential services that will be discontinued, and that can create a lot of inconvenience for people who are in need of attention in particular areas immediately. What the Trump administration has done in order to force the hand of the Democrats perhaps to make a concession is to give the green light for rifts. People will be furloughed during a shutdown, but they won't necessarily be reduced in force or laid off. But the Trump administration is saying that agencies are directed to use the opportunity of a shutdown to consider accelerated reductions in force, which have been in planning for months under Trump's initiatives under the Department of Government Efficiency initiative begun at the start of his administration. So the administration will be considering reductions in force on those employees that engage in programs, projects, and activities, PPAs, that are not consistent with the president's priorities. Thus, you could have a significant number of layoffs in addition to the furloughs. Layoffs will be permanent terminations of employees. I'm Merrick Masters. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more as we will watch this development taking place.